Hey everybody, Brian Bauman from Bauman Farms, and Jessica and me decided it was time to take another trip out to the nursery. Even though it's summertime, it's officially summertime now on the farm, we have a lot of stuff that we are still planting and still growing for the summer. We do, as you can see, even behind me, I have 4th of July hanging baskets going. I've got lots of hanging baskets. We do lots of annuals. I spend a lot of time talking about it, but I wanted to spend some time today to show you some of the perennials that we grow on the farm and that I think are totally worth it. A lot of times, I mean, I love annuals because they give you a really good bang for your buck in terms of flower power. They're going to bloom all summer long. But if you find the right perennials, you're really going to get a long time of bloom out of your plants throughout the summer. And of course, they're perennials, so you only got to plant them once. Jessica kind of panned. You can see this beautiful crop here that's just getting ready to open. And let's see if I can reach in here and grab this one that's just about ready to bloom. Okay, this is a leucanthemum or a Shasta daisy. It's just getting ready to open, and I'll have Jessica throw up a nice picture of this in full bloom as you can see it. But what a beautiful plant. It's full of buds. This particular one is called Banana Cream 2. And one of its claim to fame that I like is that a lot of Shasta daisies, you are standard, know them as a white flower. This one starts out kind of a creamy yellow, and as it opens and ages, it turns to a pure white. So you have the creamy yellow and white all on one plant, which I think is really pretty. And this particular one has a really long bloom time. So it's going to bloom a very long time. It's really hardy as well. I didn't check the actual zone. So in Oregon where we are, we're zone 7A. I always say, actually we're zone 8 technically, but I always say go to zone 7 because even zone 8 plants, they're not going to die, but they'll burn back a lot of times during the wintertime. You're a little more safe with zone 7. This one is hardy down to zone 5, which I think is like minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Even over in Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, this one is going to be hardy. You're going to get a super long bloom time out of it, lots of really great flowers, and this is going to be ready to go very quickly. Echinaceas is another one of my favorites. And I grow a lot of different varieties. I want to show you a couple different ones, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about the differences of them. Adobe is a series of Echinacea. This one right here, check out this one that's just starting to bloom. This is Adobe Orange. So we have Sombrero Yellow, we have Adobe Orange, and I have a couple more in this series that I'll grab for you. The Sombreros and Adobes are started from seed. When I'm looking for an Echinacea, I want a variety that's going to be very prolific. It's going to bloom a lot, get a lot of blossoms, and I don't like it when they get too tall and rangy because a lot of times in a lot of perennial beds, if you don't remember to pinch them back and get them to fill out, you end up with this kind of really tall, wonky plant and it falls over. These ones are really great. Sombreros and Adobes are both seed varieties. They tend to be they're less expensive because they're from seed. I'll talk a little bit about the different varieties and why they're more expensive, but beautiful colors. I try and have a nice arrangement of different colors, but I want to show you, and you can see the difference. Here, let's grab, this is that Sombrero. This is Adobe Orange, and check out the difference in the plant. Jessica, let me find a really good blooming one here. This one right here is called Sunseeker. And I think you can already tell the flower's a little bit fuller, thicker. And if you look at them side by side, this one is much more compact. It's going to take a little while. I'm not going to bring these up to the store yet. You'll see this really fill in and get fuller. I'm going to go show you a couple more in this series. This one was probably only planted 3 weeks ago maybe. It needs to get a little fuller before I bring it up. The flower is going to be much bigger. It's going to be much more compact. This particular variety is grown from tissue culture. And what that means is they're actually going in and taking very specific parts of the plant and they can put it in a special petri dish and propagate it. They get the cells to start creating babies that way. Think of it like a stem cell or something that they're using to replicate the plant. It's obviously more technical. There's a lot that goes into making that happen rather than just harvesting the seed, letting them grow, harvest the seed, sprinkle the seeds on the next one, off you go, it starts. Growing plants from tissue culture is a lot more work. There's a lot more technicality that goes into it, and thus the plants are typically a lot more expensive for us to get as starts, and you'll see a lot of times that translate into different retail prices for you. But I have another Sunseeker variety I want to show you that just blows my socks off. Check this one out. This is Sunseeker Rainbow. These were planted about 2 weeks before the other one that we were just looking at. And I kind of lined them up here because I want you to see the progression. So when it first starts opening, you get, it almost looks orange to me. There's a little bit of violet color to it, but it's gonna start like that. It's gonna frill open into this really pretty flower with that really pretty cone in the center of it, but it's not nearly as orange. You're gonna see more violet tones to it. And then when the flower is done blooming, you don't see any orange. It's almost pure violet. So as the blossoms age, you get a whole range of colors on one plant, thus Sunseeker Rainbow. But when I was talking about it, look how big and beautiful these plants get. Loaded with buds. They're very short. I have not pinched or done anything with this. We've just let this grow. Really big, nice flowers to it. Oh, this Sunseeker series is amazing. We're growing 3 or 4 different ones. Throughout the summer, I have more plantings coming on. Always make sure you check with us because we always have more in the back. But this particular series of Echinacea, I've planted it in my yard now. Really good luck with it coming back each year. And beautiful. But I have more. Here's another series of Echinacea I really like. And look at the difference. So this is a series called Sun Magic. You can see that this series, the flowers are not as big as the Sunseekers we were just looking at. You have a little bit smaller cone, a little bit lighter, maybe not as many petals, but you have a whole new range of colors. This one they call Vintage Red. It starts out with what I would consider a red, not an orangey red, not a pinky red, just a nice red. And as it ages, you're going to see more of that kind of lighter tone red come through, and you'll get deeper and lighter tones throughout the flower as the plant grows and different blossoms are coming up. There's a couple, the Vintage Red was the first one in the series I grew last year. It was the first time. This year I have a couple others, and as they start to bloom, we'll bring those out and show them to you. But, oh, these Echinaceas, beautiful. This is also one of my favorite perennials, and it brings up a good point about perennials. It's hard. A lot of times we want instant gratification when it comes to plants, and we want them to look beautiful right away. A lot of times with perennials, they don't always look really good in a 1-gallon pot. So do some research on them. See what they look like in your landscape. Jessica's going to throw you up some really good pictures. This particular one is called Denim and Lace. It's a Russian sage. There's a couple things about Russian sage that are why it's so popular. First, it's a very drought tolerant. Once established, when you plant this, please make sure you keep it watered. It needs to be watered the first year to get some really nice deep roots in there. And once it's established, it's very drought tolerant. You can put it in an area that doesn't get a lot of water, and it's gonna look amazing. The second thing that's amazing about this is hardy down to zone 4, which is like minus 30 degrees. You are pretty much guaranteed anywhere in Oregon, Washington, California, anywhere in the West, this is going to do fantastic for you. It blooms for a super long period of time during the summertime, but as you can see, like, it's just not very exciting in a 1-gallon pot. But in your landscape, this particular perennial is a rock star. I was introduced to this beauty several years ago. This is Aralia Sun King. And we're really lucky. In the Northwest, we have Terra Nova nurseries right down the road. Terra Nova has some exceptional perennials. They're best known for their heucheras. We grow lots of their heucheras. But we have the Perennial Plant Association, which is like an association where all these different nursery owners and garden writers, everybody gets together to look at what their favorite perennial plants, learn new information. It was in Oregon, probably 6-8 years ago. And Terra Nova came to me and said, can I put some perennials in your display garden? And then we'll show them when the plant association comes to town. They put this plant out front, and it'll take full sun, but they actually put underneath kind of a flower bed that was even shaded by a big tree. And the thing about this was the tree can suck up a lot of water out of there, so not a lot of things grow, but this particular plant grew. and I was sold on it immediately. I planted some of this at my house, and it's unbelievable. So during the wintertime, this dies completely down to the ground. And once established in my garden, I think, Jessica, we should put a link to the video that we did out at my house with this plant. It is literally almost as tall as me, 5 or 6 feet tall. It gets huge. It'll fill in a really nice space. You get this beautiful chartreuse yellow foliage. It does have a flower. It's not that exciting. The one thing I will say about this plant that I have to do at home is I have to be careful. The slugs and snails love it. When it starts to emerge early in the springtime, make sure you put some slug bait down. Sluggo is my favorite because it doesn't harm pets or dogs or cats. But Aralia, Sun King, you need this plant. I couldn't help it. We're walking through the greenhouse. I love this plant. And the thing I tell everybody about this plant is I guarantee you it will die. This is purple fountain grass. And it's so funny. Jessica and me are laughing here because I'm talking about perennials and I'm going to talk to you about an annual. I put this in my yard every year. It is so worth it. The purple fronds with the flower plumes coming up, the little seed heads on it are just starting to emerge. I mean, we retail this plant for $7.99 for $8. This plant is going to make you so happy. I promise you. It's so beautiful. It's going to get about yay tall. It's going to be bright and beautiful. I know, like Janie down in California for Dig Plant Water Repeat, it's a perennial down there. Up in the Northwest, Oregon, Washington, I guarantee you it will die. And you just got to like let it go. Even during the wintertime when mine dies back, I like having the kind of bronze foliage coming up. It like gets all brown, but it's still really pretty. The birds like the seeds. So worth it. I just love it. We grow so much stuff. Like, life is so busy where just the moment Jessica and me are walking through out back here and she's like, how many times do you move a plant? And I'm like, a lot. Because we're constantly changing things. It's one of the things that I love about my job. I love walking through the nursery, seeing all the different things. I was just unloading new boxes from Proven Winners of more plants coming in for the summertime. So make sure you stay tuned because there's going to be more amazing plants. Some that I guarantee you are going to live and some I guarantee you are going to die. And all of them make me so happy. So stick around and we got more coming.